Fox is the creative and technical partnership of founders Rose Etherington and Isaac Etherington. Rose provides the crucial eye for aesthetics and brand narrative, drawing on 8 years in the film industry where she honed her skills in visual design and storytelling. Complementing her vision is Isaac, who brings a unique commitment to excellence. Not only is he an accomplished graphic designer, but he also serves his community as a medevac helicopter pilot for Life Flight Network, right here in Central Oregon. Their combined creative and technical precision informs the brand's quality and its drive to both serve their craft and their community. Welcome to the stage, Rose and Isaac.
Is that our clicker?
Excuse me.
Those are her hands. All right, everybody, it's really good to be here. Thanks for having us. We're super excited to be here talking to you guys at EDCO at the PubTalks. My name's Isaac. As mentioned, great intro. Thank you. This is my lovely wife, Rose, and we are Possum Fox Backyard Goods. And out of Sisters, Oregon, we manufacture some of the best skincare that you can put on your body. And it all started 3 years ago when we embarked on this mission to get the toxins out of our house, of which there were many. And that started small. We made simple 2-ingredient pioneer-style soap out of tallow, and we turned it into Christmas presents for our family. Turned out it was the best stuff we ever put on our skin, no joke. And fast forward, 3 years later, we have a pretty impressive line of all-natural skincare, again, made in Sisters, Oregon, tallow-based, that not only is it some of the most elegant and luxurious skin creams I've ever tried, but it does not have any of the endocrine disruptors, the cancer-causing carcinogens, and the parabens, the PCBs, all the other junk that a lot of the mainstream stuff has today.
Speaking of toxins, did you know that the average American comes in contact with upward of 168 chemicals every single day? And I know that sounds crazy, but when you really start to think about it, your makeup, skincare, deodorant, shampoo, dishwashing detergent, the list goes on and on and on. And unfortunately, our favorite household items are making us sick. Even though we've made amazing breakthroughs in cancer prevention and treatment, we are still on the upward incline as far as people being diagnosed with it. Unfortunately, that is multifaceted. Much of it we can't control, but we can control what we put on our skin. If you're reading a label and you can't pronounce it and you wouldn't put it in your mouth, you probably should not be putting it on your skin. People are becoming more and more aware. We're noticing the younger generation especially. I think social media is probably to thank for that. They're very much aware of toxins, especially in skincare and makeup. In fact, we are still using chemicals in our skincare in the United States that have been banned in other countries. So there is a need for more options that mimic the luxurious skincares that you would buy at your local Nordstrom beauty counter, but that are completely all natural. There is a demand for it.
Yeah, and if you're paying attention to social media, just these upward trends in healthy living, tallow is a word that's kind of making a big comeback now. Tallow goes back a long ways. My grandma cooked with it. Everything got fried in tallow. It makes a great shortening for baking. My dad used tallow to treat all his leather goods before going outside. Using tallow as skincare goes back all the way to the days of ancient Egypt. But what is tallow? Tallow is rendered or clarified, or in other words, highly purified fat from beef In Europe, they use sheep and other things. But what makes it such an amazing skincare base is that tallow has almost an identical molecular makeup to the oils that we humans secrete. So when it's used as skincare, not only does it feel amazing, but it goes down and it moisturizes on a cellular level. And when you start treating your skin like that, it's allowed to go back to its natural state where it's allowed to heal itself and it starts to become healthy. And when you use tallow as skincare, we see things like eczema disappear, burn care, amazing, heals burns overnight, psoriasis, rosacea, anything that's got your skin embattled. Tallow makes an amazing support system. It heals, it restores, and it protects. And it is an amazing answer to the need for natural, healthy products in our homes, in our lives.
Our mission is to lead the charge in getting toxins completely out of skincare. We want to be the bridge between luxurious skincare and the all-natural green market. We also want to educate our audience on why it's important that they pay attention to this, that they start using natural skincare now for health right now and for longevity. It's our goal to actually build a brand that is here in Central Oregon and that exemplifies all of the values we share here. We value health, we value getting outside, we value community, breathing fresh air and just being out there, and we value longevity.
Yep, 100%. And the skincare market's it's pretty impressive, and there's a lot of room to grow, which is pretty sweet. The global skincare market in 2025 is worth $192 billion, but projected by 2035 to be worth $435 billion. And still there's this really small kind of untouched subset, a small portion of that, probably 10, 15%, that is really starting to embrace the green, clean, healthy, natural aspect. So there's a great growth for that. Our main demographic right now who we're targeting are primarily the 18 to 40-year-olds who are aware of the danger that's out there, but they're not willing to compromise the good feels and the qualities of this kind of stuff, and maintain the green stuff as well. We're also seeing an amazing uptick since we started doing this in the grandma and grandpa class, that level, folks that are really inspired to fight the effects of aging, but doing it in an uncompromising, all-natural sort of a way. So that's good. Right now, our competition, of course, we got big skincare, the mainstream, your Chanel's, your L'Oreal's, your Oil of Olay's, but these, we don't even see these as competition because these are the ones that are laden with the dangerous stuff that are on another level. But what's interesting, you guys have probably seen it as well, in the last few years, we're seeing an uptick in this kind of stuff, in tallow-based foods and skincare, this move towards green, healthy, natural living. But we found that when we study that market, a lot of times we don't see the elegance and the luxury that Possum Fox has achieved. There's still kind of a big gap between the really fancy stuff and the green, wholesome, eco-friendly stuff.
So the good news is we're growing faster than we were expecting. What started out as a part-time passion project for us has blown up into a full-time job. We started out in the farmers markets here, and we were so grateful. We were just immediately embraced by the market here. We established a very solid and rapidly growing fan base. Our customers are recommending us to their friends and to their families, to their coworkers. We are so grateful for that. We have a very busy social media presence. We have a weekly newsletter that we're using to educate our audience on skincare, and that is just growing every single week.
Yeah, 100%. And our ask today, the reason we came here today, first of all, I want to thank Brian and Eric for inviting us here. It was really great to meet you guys. But number one, we want you guys to know we're here, and we want you to try our stuff. And we left a handful of things on the back table as you're coming in there. We've got some great beard balms, hand creams, face creams, a little pain relief balm, stuff you can grab a little swab of and try it as you're walking out. But we are seeking just partnerships and collaborations, and even potentially, a good investor to help us, number one, kind of expand our production, as well as improve and upscale our packaging, and ultimately reach a bigger market. So we're super stoked to be here, and thanks for checking us out, you guys. Cheers.
Thank you.
Well done. That was a great pitch.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, really nice.
It's good to be here.
Okay, so talk to me a little bit about your product. I have used a couple different tallow products. In fact, I'm using a soap right now that a friend gave me. It's awesome. But I have tried some in the past that like really smell like animals, which my dogs love.
Yes.
But I don't super love. So tell me how you've overcome that aspect
That's
of it.
a really good question.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think of tallow and they think of, you go to the butcher shop, get your meat and they sell that jar of tallow that a lot of people use for cooking. It's different. So when you use tallow, that stuff's great for your skin, but it is going to have the smell. It's going to have the grit. When you prepare tallow, when you turn suet into tallow for skincare, there's a more of an in-depth, more of a process to purify it, clarify it, and really get the smells out. So it's an art, and it's something that we spent a couple of years really perfecting, but that is one of the biggest turnoffs to tallow-based skincare, is that a lot of times it smells like hamburger.
When we first started, I put my foot down. I was like, we will not smell like beef. Like, call me crazy, but
Yeah, it's a little gamey. Yeah, and
Yes.
like one bad one will turn you off. But I love that you guys have been able to refine it. Okay, any questions for these? I mean, I certainly have more questions, but do you guys have questions? Yes, here we are. Great question. Where
So-
can you buy your product?
online, of course, but we are also here in Bend at Locavore and Local Acres, and we are in Sisters at Sisters Apothecary.
Yep, and right now we're on a little bit of a mission to get out there. We envision our stuff in the wet bars of the ski resorts, in the gift shops, that kind of stuff. So we are always seeking new local marketplaces.
Oh, I can think of a ton of places where you guys would be great. Okay.
Deal.
Yes.
Where are you sourcing your tallow and how does it tie into your sustainability?
Where are you sourcing your tallow and how does that tie into your sustainability ethos?
That's an awesome question. Mind if I answer that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we only get our suet or fat from small ranches to meet our standards, they have to be grass-fed. They have to be no hormones. Right now, we've been lucky enough to find ones that aren't even using any vaccines. So all sustainable small ranches. So far, no more than 30 head of cattle. And at this point, at this stage in our growth, we only use 2 different ranches. One of them is called Eola Crest Cattle. Shout out to them. It's a really beautiful little operation in the valley in McMinnville, Oregon, where we come from. And we are shifting, now that we're here in Central Oregon, to Pole Creek Ranch right there in Sisters, down the street from us. So they are, right now, at this size, they are sole providers of the suet that becomes our tallow.
Love Pole Creek Ranch.
Yeah.
Beautiful place. Okay. I think any other questions? Yes. What is the genesis of your name? I wanted to ask this too. Who's the possum and who's the fox?
So, well, honestly, when we came up with this name, our 2 boys, we have two little boys, and it's just their 2 favorite animals. So that possum, fox.
Well, there's a good
Yeah,
story. When this started, it was just for us. We're having fun with it. We're making stocking stuffers. And the first time this stuff ever went to market was at an elementary school Christmas bazaar.
Oh.
And we said, you guys got to come up with a name. We don't want to. Okay, what's your favorite animal? What's your favorite animal? That's what we're
Aw,
calling it.
so sweet. I love it. I love it. Okay, I think we have one more question. Who's it going to be? I guess I would love to ask a question. So how did you get through the process of refining this product? Like, how did you find the sweet spot?
So I actually, like years ago, I worked for Chanel, and which is a lot of chemicals, but what I did take away from that is I just learned about composition, about what people are looking for, how it should feel, how it should smell. And so I honestly just researched. I just tried different concoctions. I started reading up on how to render. There are different ways to render. There's the dry method, there's the wet method, there's all different kinds. And then we just started testing until we finally got to where it was exactly where we wanted it, where you can't even smell the tallow. We kind of view tallow as a base because it is a carrier. So if you, like, for instance, put castor oil on, which is really good for you, it's going to just kind of sit on your skin because it's a plant and, we're mammals. But if you put it with tallow, that tallow is going to pull it down deeper where it can actually get down and do some good, like actually really do some detoxifying. So we kind of started looking at it where it wasn't just the tallow, but using tallow as that base that we could build on.
It's so cool.
I remember our first hand cream that we made. It was super rustic. It was waxy. It was like almost like a lip balm, and I loved it. It was great for those cracky fingers. I thought this is for the loggers and the fishermen and the people that are outdoors just tearing up their hands that probably know about tallow. And Rose, I remember her saying, I want to go after the girls at the Nordstrom counter, and she got into the emulsification and the blends that has evolved into what it is right now.
This is just so cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really excited to try it. So
you.
best of luck to you guys. And I hope to see you around in a lot more doors. So
Thank you.
Thanks a
very
ton,
much.
you guys. We really appreciate
thanks
it.
for being
Thank you.
here.
Cheers.